What is up, Fin fans? A bunch of you guys already in the room. My early guys. Got 11 of you in here. 3 thumbs ups already. You got Dennis in here. What's up, Dennis? How you doing? Rage Conquest. What is up? Clement Football Edits. If you guys don't know about him, go check out his channel. He's got some nice football edits over there. Larry L, my brother from another mother. What is up, bud? Sean's in here. Josh just got in here. How's everyone doing today on this day? Wow, my exposure is just too high. Let me change that. Let's go. Maybe a little lower. Depends on the sun. The sun is just being ridiculous today. What's up, Rain? The Fort Nut. What is up? What's up, TW? What's up, Blank? What's up, 10? What's up, Word of Mouth? What's up, Caesar? How's everyone doing? Stanley, just impatiently waiting for camp. Yeah, so if you guys noticed that the name of this video is essentially like Miami Dolphins training camp preview. We don't know what's going to happen with training camp. As of right now, July 28th is the start of the Miami Dolphins training camp. But we don't know essentially, like, is it definitely going to be the 28th? Or some of the things that are happening right now with the league and the NFLPA and the arguing stuff, is that going to push the training camp back? We don't know as of right now. But let's talk about it. And I'm going to let you guys know, beginning of the video, minute 30 into the video, I'm going to start a series. So I got we are on the 11th. I got about 2 weeks until training camp. I'm going to be starting a series talking about training camp battles that is going to be taking place this upcoming week and the week after, leading up to hopefully training camp on Tuesday, July 28th. So I'm going to be talking about training camp battles, talk about who's, and we're going to go position by position, talk about the battles, talk about who I think has the upper hand, all that stuff. So hope you guys are ready for that. What's up, Alan? Rower, stay calm. Rower is here. Happy Saturday to you, me. So excited for football. I hope there's camp on time. Yes, so do I. What's up, Speedballer? How you doing, brother? What's up, chat? Hope you're all well. What's up, Chandler? What's up, Fins fan? Hopefully we have a season of football. Yeah, I hope so too. I really hope so too. What's up, Jose? So essentially we're gonna talk about training camp. We'll talk about anything Miami Dolphins, more or less. I'm here to just chat with you guys, answer your guys' questions. If you guys have any questions about the Miami Dolphins, about the NFL, again, you know where I draw the line in answering certain questions. So if you do ask one of those questions, then I probably will ignore it. No offense to you, but I just don't feel like dealing with hostility, because I made my video talking about the NFL and the owners wanting to take 30% of the players' salary to kind of retroact what they're going to lose this year. And I said how unfair that is, because the owners, and I just had blah. It got political. For some reason, people were commenting political things, and I'm just like, I wasn't even talking political. Little Lauderdale with the $10 donation. Love you too, brother. Love you too. Hopefully see you here in New Jersey for the Dolphins-Jets game. 35%. Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Your starters for the O-line. My starters for the O-line as of right now, Jose. Left tackle is going to be Austin Jackson. Hopefully he shows up and he just blows us all out of the water, because a lot of people underestimate him, especially when we picked him. He was super raw. It took, some time off because he was donating to his sister. That bone marrow, it's ridiculous, the procedure he had to go through. So left tackle is going to be Austin Jackson in my mind. Left guard is going to be my brain is just Flowers. Sorry, my brain just shut off. I almost said Warford, but hey, you never know. No, it's not going to happen. Eric Flowers. Centers, Ted Karras. Right guard. A lot of people say Hunt at right guard. I'm putting Jesse Davis at right guard, and I'm putting Hunt at right tackle, because Hunt, his senior year in with his college team, played right tackle and is pretty much known as a right tackle. Big Boy Sports News, what is up? What's up, Shell? Do you think McMillan will only be used on running downs? The new linebackers are faster than him, I think. Radical centrist. You can't really depend on that, because then you got to worry about play action, and then you got to worry about him not being able to cover tight ends, dropping out running backs, across the middle passes and stuff like that. I'm hoping this is the year that he breaks out. And this last year was kind of his breakout year. You know, no one really had a breakout year last year besides really Devontae Parker, because the team was just in a whole very decimated and practice squad and all that stuff. But I feel like last year he kind of showed what he can do, especially when it came to run stopping. But I'm hoping this year he kind of picks up some speed. DW fans called Douglies. What did I think? What did I say in my last video? The Do Wrong Army, or DouglieDoWrong, or DDW Army, something like that. What's up, Vic? Hey, listen at work. Enjoyed you on the podcast. Keep it up. Yes, thank you, Vic. Yes, I was on. I was invited to come on Fin It to Win It's podcast. If you follow me on Twitter, I retweeted it. Also on the Facebook. If you follow my Facebook at DouglieDoWrong, I put it on the Facebook. I was invited on there. Had a great conversations, about a half hour. The whole episode's about an hour. But about the second half, the half hour, had a great conversation with the guys from Fin It to Win It. So be sure to check that podcast out. I had a blast. And I have some other things lined up. Some other people want me to come on. I'm going to go on some other channels, some other podcasts. I got a lot of things planned. I just got to situate the time. Do you guys want me to give you a little what's going on behind the scenes? Do you guys want to hear what's going on in my actual life right now, or do you just, I don't give a crap, Doug, just talk about football? You guys want a little behind the scenes of what's going on in my life right now? Eugenia, I will address Preston Williams after I find out if you guys really want to know about behind the scenes stuff. No. Just a flat out no, I don't really give a crap. I can't even pronounce your name, Sajik. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. I appreciate that. That made me laugh really hard. Just a straight out no. Doug, you're getting married. Yeah, Chief, that's got pushed to November of 2021. But the whole reason why, I'm super busy behind the camera, and I want to do, I have a few collabs lined up, and I have a few things lined up. I'm actually in the process of getting a house. This is my very first house. I've been living in an apartment for the past 3 years. And I'm actually in the process of getting a home. It's not in the same city I live in now. I'll still be in New Jersey though, but I'm in the process of getting a home. And my, oh my, for you guys, and I know a bunch of you guys out there are homeowners and stuff, first time buying a home, that is stressful. Holy crap, we just did the inspection and everything, and it's stressful. So I got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. You're going to see a new setup behind me. I'm getting to make my own studio in the home. So, all this stuff is going to be a little spread out more. It's going to look real nice. I have a lot of plans. So yeah, it's a process, and it's stressful, and it is driving me nuts. But yeah, thought I'd give you a little behind the scenes of Chief Bubba says, how's that stressful? Because first off, you got to afford it. And the down payments on a home and the money you have to put at closing is a lot of money. Two, you got to hope that the inspection goes well, the appraisal goes well, and that the other side doesn't want to back out because you don't like certain things. And there's a lot of negotiating. So it's a whole process of, okay, you're in it, you're under contract, you're negotiating. God forbid something bad happens. You don't want to lose it, because then all of a sudden you start back at one. So it's very stressful. It's very stressful. Little Lauderdale. That is a color I haven't seen. That pink is a color I haven't seen. Little Lauderdale with the $50. Little Lauderdale, what are you doing? I'm about to put your shirt on, my man. Here's for something for the new setup. Little Lauderdale, jeez. Don't. Just so you guys know, I'm working on some Little Lauderdale. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I'm working on getting if you guys don't want to get my t-shirts or my hoodies because they're a little expensive, I'm working on getting smaller things like those wristbands and pins and stuff, smaller things that I could just ship to you. I won't even charge. If I charge anything, it'd be $1. But I'm looking to get smaller things to you guys. Thank you, Little Lauderdale. I really you just blew me out of the water. No special first-time buyers program, George. There is, but it takes a minute. It takes a while to get through that process, and we don't have the time. But yeah, let's get back to football. I gave you a little behind the scenes. Let's get back to football. Little Ardell, yeah, it's been super slow because of what's going on, but I will get in contact with them. I know one of you guys, Wilson, ordered it and it took like a month to get to you, and it sucks. So I'm gonna see if they can speed up that process. But let's talk about football. Let's get back to football. Where can I watch Dolphins in Los Angeles? I don't even know. I'm in Jersey, and I don't think I'm what they and one of you guys brought this up. What country you moving to? A county? Middlesex County, George. I might be closer to you, George. With what's going on in the world, and there's some teams that have come out, like the Ravens, I think the Packers, some other teams are coming out, and they already announced that they're drastically cutting back capacity at their stadiums. One of you guys had said that, why doesn't NFL ticket reduce the price? Like DirecTV, why don't you reduce the price of your costs, being that so many of us fans can't go to the games this year? And I agree. We need to reduce that price. What's up, Mitz? We should get that guard from New Orleans. It all depends on the money. Now, I'm hearing what I heard today is that the NFLPA came back with their offer saying, look, don't take the 35%. How about we have a flat rate of, let me pull up the tweet if I could find it. It was like a flat rate of for this year, no raise in the cap. Let's see if I can find the tweet so I can give you guys the legit logistics of what they actually said. I should have screenshot it because I knew I wanted to talk about it today. Where are you? I'm getting close. I know I'm getting close. I'm starting to talk about cap. Okay, here it is. You got that right, Doug? Yeah, Reddit. I don't pay to watch any games. So Tom Pelissero, who is the guy who constantly puts a lot of good information out, and do I follow him? I do now. I now follow him. He says the NFLPA sent the NFL an economic counter proposal per sources. So this was a counter proposal to them being like, hey, how about we take 35% of your salary, even though you're going to be on the field, you're going to be running into each other, you have the potential of tearing your ACL, tearing your Achilles tendon, concussion, CTE, all that stuff. But we're going to take some of your percentage away, and then also you have a chance of catching COVID. And God forbid you catch COVID, you can't then see your family for 2 weeks. But hey, we're going to take some of your money away while we set up in our nice air-conditioned boxes, making millions off of you guys, and then also making millions off of our own side stuff. But we're going to take your money away. So the NFLPA came out back and said, no escrow, don't take our percentage, flat salary for 2021. So I think that there will be no inflations or stuff for salary cap. So for that, spread revenue loss into 2022 to 2030. So, okay, you lose revenue, we'll help you out from 2022 to 2030 when everything gets hopefully back to normal. All fully guaranteed money paid, even if games are canceled. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Old and slow. DDW swimsuit calendar. That's awesome. You don't want to see me in a swimsuit. I am not in the shape I used to be. I'm worried about Jarrett Stidham. Chandler, is that who you're talking about? Hey, Doug, I have a question. Oh, what's up, Simon? Hey, Doug, I have a question. During training camp, if Fitz throws an interception to X, should I be happy that X got an interception or sad that Fitz threw one? And overall, what position group should I cheer for? You want a nice yin and yang. I've learned that from watching the training camps for many, many years. You want a nice yin and yang. You want, one play, or like a series and a series. You want a nice yin and yang, because if it's dominating, and we noticed that, I think it was last year, that a lot of the defense was dominating. It was a lot of defense domination for days, and then offense, and then days, offense. Even in 2018's training camp, a lot of domination from one side or the other for a couple of days. You want a nice yin and yang. You want to see, certain players do really well, and then you want to see the other person they're going against also do well. So, and it's a nice back and forth. But also, the way I see this is, you're going up against the best. So, like Preston Williams going up against Byron Jones constantly, right? The Byron Jones, he gets a lot of flack for not having a lot of interceptions, but he's one of the best corners in the league. For Preston Williams to constantly go up against him, or for him to constantly go up against Xavier Howard to constantly go up against, Devontae Parker, 1,000 yards, and, it's good because then you'll go up against inferior talent, and then you're just like, wow, this is easy. I went up against Byron Jones all camp. Now I'm going up against Joe Schmo, the Eskimo. This is easy. Same thing with the offense and defensive line. That's why when we had Ndamukong Suh on our team, like in 2016 and stuff, so you notice sometimes the offensive line would thrive because you're going up against Ndamukong Suh, Cameron Wake, training camp. All of a sudden you go against these guys that just aren't even up to their talent, and you're like, wow, this is way easier than what I have to go through in training camp. What's up, flip side fishing? If we gel, I think we could be a top 5 defense. Parker's going to kill Jones. I wouldn't say that. Did he do well against the Cowboys? And was Jones covering him the whole time? Hey, Doug, can the Dolphins still get players that's still a free agent? Yeah, they can, but they got $13 million in cap space. And with the potential of the cap not raising next year, they probably want to hold on to that. So I don't foresee them signing anyone, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. Malcolm Perry will be one of our X Factor players. Yeah. He had really good college tape. He shows how dynamic he is in multiple positions, but here's the thing. That's college. We've seen college players do really dynamic things and then come in the NFL and kind of disappear because the speed of the game is a little bit quicker. The physicality is a little bit more. I think he will do really well, but I have to see what he does up against training camp and, maybe preseason. I don't even know if there's going to be preseason. What do you think about Josh Boyer as our defensive coach? Good question, Reflex. I like him as our defensive coach. A lot of people forget that he was with the team last year. He was our secondaries coach. And what I'm hearing a lot of, and especially from the defensive players, is that Josh Boyer had more of a voice in the locker room than Patrick Graham did. So there's that, the offense is the part that scares me, especially the offensive line. It scares me. The defense doesn't scare me as much because there's still that consistency of, okay, yes, Josh Boyer is the new DC, and, he was a secondaries coach, but he still had a voice. He still talked to the team. He still talked to the defense. Patrick Graham, ran the defense. And also you got Brian Flores. It's going to be the same defense. It's going to be the same everything because you're still having that continuity. It's the offense that scares me because Chan Gailey's offense is going to be much different than Chad O'Shea's offense, but it might be much different in a better way where it helps certain players, whereas Chad O'Shea's offense hurt certain players. Don't be surprised, and I know for a fact Roadrunner is going to love this. Don't be surprised if Josh Rosen actually starts to play better under Chan Gailey's offense. Then we're in a conundrum. Josh Rosen's doing really well. Fitz is doing really well. He's been in this offense for multiple years. Tua's doing really well because it's an offense that fits his play style. We got 3 really good quarterbacks. What are we going to do? So, should the Dolphins trade for Ngakoue? No. He's going to want a big old fat contract. Wait until the offseason if you really want him. They have Skytrans at the stadium. You take from the parking lot to the stadium. Oh, that's awesome. Normally you have to walk like 2 parking lots to get there. He's just talking about it. We need Mosret. Are you talking about the running back, John, from the 49ers? Mosert, I think his name is, who was on the Dolphins for a game. We already have all names are just flying out of my head. What's up, Lewis? Shake Money, what's up? How you doing, brother? About time. Do you think Coach Boyer will change the defensive scheme even though he is from No, I don't think so, John. It would be counterproductive to change the defensive scheme. So I don't think so. I'm trying to get Galaxy Opal Goats Stefan Gray. Breda, thank you. I haven't played any NBA games. I'm into Madden, but I haven't played Madden in a very long time. I just got bored of it. It's the same thing now. And Madden 21 doesn't look any different to me. Off-season without OTAs, advantage young team or a team with lots of vets. Discuss. It's a good one, Patrick. I think all teams are just going to struggle. I think the teams that will struggle the most are the ones with the new head coaches. So the Giants. I don't. For some reason, my brain's not working today. I have like 5,000 things going on in my head. But teams with new head coaches, I think they're going to struggle a little bit. Like I said, the Dolphins don't have a new head coach. The Dolphins, in my mind, necessarily don't really have a new defensive coordinator. They have a new offensive coordinator. And that might be where the team will struggle a little bit, trying to get that offensive scheme going. But having these Zoom meetings instead of having the on-field stuff will help with getting the concept of the plays and getting the concept and the route running and the audibles and stuff. Because a lot of the stuff you'll see, they'll do like slight hand motions, they'll like tap their helmet, they'll pull their face mask and stuff. You'll see slight variations that you can do in a Zoom meeting. Right. So you get the quarterbacks and the wide receivers in a Zoom meeting together with Chan Gailey, and you talk about audibles and stuff. And then Ryan Fitz could say to Preston Williams and Devontae Parker, Jakeem Grant, all the other wide receivers, all right, look, when we're running, tight, eye close, and I throw up this, Preston, I want you to run, an up and out. And then Devontae, if I look at you and I pull my face mask or I rub my helmet, I want you to do a go route. They could talk about those things. So you still get a little bit of, education, a little installment of it, but it's not until you're on that field and, Fitz is getting under center. It's like I said, eye close formation, whatever on 2, and he's behind center. He looks at Preston, he throws up the X. He looks at, pats his helmet. And then he says hut, and then all of a sudden they get jammed by Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. Then all of a sudden he drops back and he notices both of his wide receivers just got jammed hard at the line of scrimmage, and he's got Agba and Shaq Lawson coming at him. Then all of a sudden it's a whole different world, and he's going to have to throw the check down to the running. It's just, yes, you can learn a lot from Zoom and from installing the offense, but you got to actually do it. And then you actually have to go up against an opposing defense that wants to kill you. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, bud? What do you think of Christian Wade, the Bills running back? I'm more focused on my team and trying to situate that. The only part of the team on the Bills that scares me is the defense. I think they have a pretty good defense. So if there's any Buffalo Bills fans, listening, I like your defense. It's pretty good defense. The only thing on offense that really scares me is Josh Allen's ability to extend the play. We've seen that against us tons of time. But, them getting a new wide receiver and, they're running, it doesn't really scare me because I think our corners are good enough to shut down any type of wide receiver. Like I said, it's Josh Allen's ability to extend the play that a corner can only cover a wide receiver for so long. So if he's like running around like a crazy person in the backfield and the wide receiver doesn't run a traditional route and all of a sudden gets open, then, you can't really blame the corner for that. So the offense doesn't really scare me much. It's more the defense of the Bills that I think is pretty good. Doug, as of now, what are your top defensive units and where do you rank the Dolphins defense? Well, this is a hard question because I haven't seen them do anything, especially when it comes to, normally by this time we've had OTAs, mini camp, rookie camp, and we've seen some type of, oh, look at him. He's looking really good, really fast, really disruptive. I have nothing to go off of. But my top defensive unit would probably be the secondary, just from the addition. But Dolphin rank, I don't know. I don't know how they're playing together. I'm hoping it's, as of right now, it's mid, like 15. I want mid. I'd be happy with that. 15 to like 16 to 12 area. But if we get top 5, I'll be ecstatic. Doug, there are rumors, Beasley, that the Dolphins want to make their current quarterback coach the new offensive coach after Gailey. What do you think about that? It makes sense. There's a reason that Brian Flores brings in the coaches he does. Brian Flores came from being a special teams coach, not even a special. He came from he was a scout, Brian Flores. And then he was like a pass game coordinator. And then he was like a run game coordinator. And then he was on offense. And then he was defense. He was at the bottom. He made his way up. Then finally, in 2018, Brian Flores, Bill Belichick was like, hey, won't you start calling defensive plays? And look what happened. He showed what he could do. So it doesn't surprise me. I honestly think that Brian Flores is going to try to do the same thing where he lets these younger guys flourish and see what they could do at positionals. And then if they do really well, he'll promote them. Grooming his own talent, people. Same thing he's doing with the team. He's grooming his own talent. You draft, you bring in young free agents. A lot of the free agents we brought in off their 4th-year contract, off their rookie contract, bring them in, groom them. We still waiting for two rookies to sign. Yeah, Noah Igbenogany and Hunt are still have to sign, but it's hard because no one's really. There's only a limited amount of people that are allowed in the facility. You'll be surprised how many rookies from the first round still haven't signed. I think Jordan Love, the quarterback that the Packers took, signed like a week ago. So there's still a lot of rookies in that first round that haven't signed. Which rookie, which rookie, if any, do you think doesn't make the 53-man roster? Maybe Perry, Stroman. And this is what sucks about this whole situation. And I hope that the NFL extends the practice. I think they did extend the practice squad amount. And I think the return from IR is now 3 instead of 2. And but I think the roster size should be extended a little bit more because these undrafted guys are going to have an uphill battle trying to make the team. And especially with the Dolphins, who had to cut some players so they could fit the drafted and undrafted players on the team. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be real tight. But I think, they need that. Bobby McCain will start most likely. Most likely. How's it going, Doug? Fins up. It's going good, Mike. How you doing, bud? Just enjoying my cloudy, gloomy Saturday, hanging out with my boys, talking Miami Dolphins football. I can't wait to see Neto get some play time. Yeah, a lot of you guys been asking about Neto, who's the Brazilian defensive tackle that we picked up last offseason, who has, he can be put on the practice squad and not count towards the practice squad because he's an overseas guy. I want to see what he can do. I want to see him get his chance. If he could be as disruptive as we're hearing, it's going to be exciting. I think Flores likes Noah's body type. It's like Flores, solid, and can tackle. Yeah. I'm wondering where, and that's the thing, too, that we don't know. And that's the thing normally we kind of see from, the OTAs and the minicamp and stuff, is where people technically kind of line up. Now, you can take that with a grain of sand because Flores, when the press is there and they're reporting stuff, he could put certain people at certain positions, but it's more, hey, can you play here? Let's see if you could play here because maybe in a defensive scheme we'll throw you there. But it's real. That's the thing I was most interested in seeing, and I'm still most interested to see in training camp, even though we're not going to be able to hear about it, which bums me out. I want to know. He might take Noah and at some point put him at safety. You never know. You really never know. Sand, salt, Simon. I guess it's just the saying comes from it's small and there's a mass amount of it. So didn't they move him to O-line? They tried to, Shake Money, but he's still listed as a defensive tackle. Hey, Doug, if it's okay. Hey, Doug, is it okay if I ask a gaming question not related to football? Yeah, no problem. If so, are you going to play Cyberpunk 2077? What is your anticipated PS5 game? Yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm interested to see how that pans out. I know it keeps getting pushed back and back. I don't know. I'm just interested in the system, PS5. It looks really good. So I'm really interested in that. Raymond with the $5 donation. Yes, you are here, bud. Thank you for the $5 donation. I really mean that. He goes back and forth. Here's a thought. The coach Flores brought in from high school level became a coordinator or a head coach. Wait, what? The coach? Make sure I read that right. Oh, you said it again. The coach Flores brought in from the high school level becomes a coordinator or a head coach. That is possible. That's how you do it. Just slowly make your way up. Hey, Doug, do you watch some of the other channels? The reason I'm asking is I believe it was Daniel, but he mentioned that we might be in line to get the defensive end from Kansas City, Chris Jones. Daniel, yeah, I check out other channels all the time. K-Flexon, I watch his stuff. Great One, I watch his stuff. TD, I watch his stuff. I watch Reason and EM stuff all the time. I check out everyone's channel, even opposite teams' channels. I check them all out. Chris Jones is going to cost a lot of money. And if everything pans out for the Dolphins and Christian Wilkins starts to become really well, and Raekwon Davis becomes really good, and then Agba, Lawson become really good, Zyler becomes really good, and there's no real need for Chris Jones. So that's why like a lot of people are like, hey, would you go after Ngakoue, Chris Jones, all that stuff. What we have right now is really good young talent. If they can thrive and prosper and become really, really good talent, there's no need, and they're on a very cheap contract versus the ones that Ngakoue and Chris Jones are going to want and demand. You could put that money in other positions that we need to. Hey, Doug, do you think hey Doug, who do you think could be the surprised Dolphin player this year? Surprise in what way, Nathan? Good or bad? Miami Dolphins. Well, yes, they are, bro. Pat's trash again. Yes, they are. Jones is DT too big for the outside, but I agree he's a big deal. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of money. So the Dolphins win in the East is what I'm hearing. AKG, I think the East is up for grabs from anybody. I will say that. To say that the Patriots are hands down going to win, I don't think that's a, one. And this is what makes me laugh, because I understand you're a Patriots fan, and I appreciate you coming on here, and everyone treat him with respect, as long as he treats us with respect. But I appreciate you coming on the channel, checking this out. I will say this, because a lot of people, a lot of Patriot fans were sad when Tom Brady left. And then Patriots fans got kind of quiet when they were, their quarterbacks were Boyer and Stidham. Then they didn't draft a quarterback, and the Patriots like, hey, we still have Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick did something with nothing, which they're not wrong. Matt Castle, 2008. And then a lot of people, even myself included, was like, hey, I think right now the division's completely open, but if I had to pick one team that has the best chance, it's Buffalo. And then all of a sudden Cam Newton signs with the New England Patriots, and wow, Patriot fans come out of the woodwork. We're getting another Super Bowl. We're going to have 7 rings. We're going to be the first team ever to have 7, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it blew up. Now, in my honest opinion, I honestly don't. I see it wide open. Cam Newton is Cam Newton. Like I said in my video, I think the Miami Dolphins, I think all of these teams were preparing for that style of quarterback. Again, Josh Allen's in the division. Not saying they're the same exact quarterback, but they do kind of have the same play style. So it doesn't. I honestly think that the division is wide open. A lot of teams like the Dolphins and Jets are being looked past, which you shouldn't do, because then they'll just sneak up on you and beat you. And you're like, oh, we're playing the Dolphins week 1. All right, who are we playing week 2? Then you lose, and you're like, well, we only lost because, and then that happens. But I will say that it's wide open. I think anyone can win this division. I think with Tom Brady not in New England anymore, that really helped it become wide open. Tom Brady, as much as people like to say, so I'm guessing y'all saying Patriots are 4th best team. No, I'm not saying Patriots are 4th best team. They still have Bill Belichick as their head coach. Koala Gaming with the $2 donation. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much for the donation. Shake Money with the $5 donation. Check out Finn's Fans panel tomorrow at 7 with Larry L. Great host. Yes, guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, Finn's Fans panel. Larry, put the link in the chat for your channel, and be sure to check it out. Got some great conversations over there. Yeah, Larry, put your channel in the chat, and be sure to check that out. It's a very good site. But yeah, no, you guys still have Bill Belichick, AKG. So no one's saying you're going to be 4th. I'm just saying that to crown a definite winner, like if you notice, I'm not even saying Buffalo is definitely going to win. I'm saying they have, before Cam Newton came in, they had the best chance because the continuity and yada yada. But yeah, no. John with the $5 donation. Let the New York owners follow the governors and restrict attendance. Same goes with California. Why should the other teams follow? I don't know, Larry. John, I don't know. No group, no Flowers, no Gronk, no Flowers, Van Noy. How many Pro Bowlers do you think we'll have? I'll give you a number, but I'm not going to tell you who. So I'll just give you a number, if that helps you rage. 4. I'm going to say 4. Yes, check out Larry's channel. Excellent content. Yes, Larry put his channel in the chat, so be sure to go over, check it out. Hit that subscribe button. Would you see Miami in the wild card? Yeah, the fact that they added a wild card to it, so there's 3 teams that could potentially get a wild card. I don't see why not. Am I predicting it? No, because I don't want to be hurt. You guys know my motto. My wife is a Dolphins fan, so I have no hate for the Dolphins. I respect everyone. I appreciate that, AKG. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I don't like the Patriots for obvious reasons, but you got to respect the team. I respect all the teams, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you a jab. I did that to the Bill. I did that to the Bills team. I forgot what video it was. I was talking about something, and I talked about the Bills and how their quarterback was wildly inaccurate. I think it was the Cam Newton video, and a Bill fan was like, "It's funny you're talking about this." And I was like, "My guy, it was a joke. Don't take it so seriously. I'm a Dolphins fan. I could say like, hey, congratulations, you won the game, but and then just you gotta get on you. I'm not gonna, Hey, Doug, I'm tuning in from the Bahamas. I love your content. Do you think the Dolphins are a legit worst to first candidate? How strong would you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 to do so? 7. I definitely think they're a worst to first candidate. A lot of people are underestimating them. A lot of people are going to be looking past them. I think some of the additions really helped in certain positions, especially the secondary, especially the defensive line, especially the linebacker core. Offensive line still scares me, but I would say about a 7 out of 1 out of 10. I'd say a 7. What's up, Anthony? Well, if their record is horrible, then the coach isn't squat. Talk about the Patriots, Chief. It's Larry Legend, not Larry Little. So lucky to marry a Dolphin. It was my bad, Larry Legend. Doug, I suggest that you make a video ranking your favorite NFL teams because we are starved of NFL news. All right, John. What who the rankings? Because I only have one favorite NFL team, and that is the team that I'm surrounded by, and I have tattooed on my arm. But if you want me to do a power ranking, I'll try. Those are hard. I give a lot of people credit for that. It's hard to do power rankings and stuff. You gotta look so much into that. But I'm going to do. I have a bunch of videos. And I'm going to do my top 10 favorite games of the past 20 years. I'm not going to do of all time. I'm going to do of the past 20 years because the last 20 years have been a struggle for us Dolphin fans. Very mediocre. 7-9, 9-7, 8-8, 10-6, 11-5. It's like 4-12, 1-5. So I'm going to do my favorite. I don't know how many I'm going to do. I might have a lot, but my favorite games of the past 20 years to talk about. Yeah, we might have had ups and downs and really crappy seasons, but there's always those bright spots in every season that make you just really happy to be a Dolphins fan. So I'm going to make that video probably maybe Monday. I think I'll do that video on Monday. What's up, Randy? How you doing, bud? Do you think we'll trade for Ngakoue? I don't think so. I think if the Dolphins want him, I think they'll wait for next offseason and then bid on him and then try to not overpay for him. We doing fantasy again? Yes, we are, Mario. I got to set that up. I'm still debating if I'm doing 1 league or 2 leagues. I might just do 1 league and then that's it. What's up, LGRW? How you doing, bud? How you feeling about your Titans, bud? Texans, let's suck it up this year. We need the tackle from Oregon. That's what a lot of people forget. We still have the Texans first round pick. So I know a lot of Dolphin fans are going to be rooting against those Houston Texans because if they end up falling flat on their face and they get a top 5 pick, hey, Miami Dolphins, you're going to be in it to win it. What do you think of Preston Williams? I like Preston Williams. He has a ton of promise. He's just so good. He would not have gone undrafted if he didn't have his off the field issues. The fact that the Miami Dolphins got him and pairing him with Devontae Parker, it's going to be good. Devontae Parker was, Preston Williams was getting doubled at some points, and Devontae Parker was thriving off of that. What's up, Mando? What do you like about Vince Beagle? Logan asked. First off, he's a really cool, down-to-earth guy, and the fact that he came on this channel and had a conversation with me, I greatly, greatly appreciate. So, Vince, I don't know if you're watching this, but thank you so much for coming on the channel. I like his play. I like his physicality. I like him coming off the edge. I like he's a really good outside linebacker in my eyes, you know, and I just a really good, well-rounded player. Antonio Brown to the Dolphins? No. And let's talk about this real quick. Because Bleacher Report, which is like the TMZ, the what's that magazine that talks about like, oh, my wife had alien baby? Like, what was that? What's that magazine called? Let me see if you guys can help me out. I know it starts with like an E, or like I married my dead wife or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? What's that magazine you always see in like when you're at the supermarket or something right before checkout? They always have these like magazines to just the most ridiculous things, like the Inquirer. Thank you. National Enquirer. Yes, the Enquirer. Bleacher Report, to me, it's like they're really bored right now because they came out with trades that most likely will happen this year. And one of them, they said that the Miami Dolphins will trade for Odell Beckham Jr. from the Cleveland Browns. And I was just like, do you not like look into what the Dolphins are doing, what they're doing with their locker room, the style of players that they're bringing in? You know, it's like the complete opposite end of the spectrum of what the Miami Dolphins will do. And what they do that for is because then people who want Odell will read that, click on it, and be like, Dolphins are going to try to get Odell. Dolphins are going to try to get Odell. Dolphins have $13 million in cap space after signing Noah Igbenogany and Hunt. $13 million in cap space. Odell's contract is $14 million and some change hit this year. And if you we'll take out the signing bonus and stuff, it's still around like what, 12 million? You honestly think that the Dolphins are going to bring him in and then just eat up all that cap? No. So Odell is not coming to Miami. Don't believe any of that crap you hear. Antonio Brown don't need that headache, or Odell. No. Yes, exactly. If we were going to get a receiver from the Browns, I'd rather take Jarvis Landry. Bring back Landry. Don't do the power video, Doug. We like you sane as possible. It's hard. Like I said, I give a lot of people credit for doing power rankings. Doug, can you make a stat prediction? Oh, Simon, that's even harder than doing a power ranking. Kids People Magazine. OBJ will play slot. That will be unreal. Parker, Preston, OBJ will be an amazing. Even AB in the slot. I want any of them in the slot. But is that their position? That's a lot of money at wide receiver. You know how I feel about that, because I said it was a lot of money at corner, and we're spending a lot of money at corner. These reporters are paid by NFL players' agents to test waiters for certain teams. Waters. I'm sorry, checkout. Yeah, 100%. They definitely are. Hey, Doug, I got a question. What's up, Sean? What's your question, brother? Where's Jerome Baker value to the team, especially now that we have Hill? I'm hearing that Baker and Kyle Van Noy are the front runners to be the starting linebackers, especially in a 2-linebacker set. So I think he's high. This is his last year. They can either franchise. No, next year is his last year. This is the last year for McMillan. Then they either franchise tag him or let him go. I know Tua isn't Dan Marino, but if he is accurate, as people say, why? Sean, what are you asking me? I know Tua isn't Dan Marino, but is that the question? No, I think this is the question. Why is it that no one can see Jakeem Grant been successful and explode? The reason why I asked is because Mark Duper are small guys. Sean, it's more with Jakeem Grant. The problem isn't his size and his speed; it's his health. He hasn't played a full season for us. He's constantly has these little nagging injuries that take him off the field. Because when he's on the field, like you said, he's dynamic. He's got that speed. He got everything. It's more his health. 4-year window with cheap Rosen and Tua, Doug. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. Travel and leisure? Huh? Dez Bryant would be better option than AB. Yeah, but you already have a Dez Bryant style wide receiver. We actually have two of them, Preston Williams and Devontae Parker. I'll take Stills back before Landry just on attitude. Some people beg to differ. I'm not one of them. I liked Kenny Stills. Do you think the Texans will fall flat on their face? I hope they do. And I'm sorry to any future Texans fans or any Texans fans watching this, but do you blame me? We have your first round pick. I hope you guys do horribly. Just imagine this. Now, I'm always one for not wanting to get your guys' hopes up, and I do apologize for what I'm about to say because this might get your hopes up. Just imagine. This probably is not going to happen. It's very hard for this to happen. Just imagine. The Houston Texans are just bad this year, and we get the first overall pick. But the Dolphins aren't that bad. We go 7-9, 8-8, 9-7, and we have like the 18th overall pick. First and 18. Just imagine. What would the Dolphins do with the first overall pick? Like, are you kidding me? DFS with the $2 donation. McMillan is a make or break season. Watch out, 52. Yes. Yes, definitely. But yeah, just first overall. Yo, Doug, got them emotions out. What emotions? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't even know. All it takes is Watson to get injured. If we get the first pick, do a Godfather trade. Yep. 100%. Miami Dolphins get that first overall pick. I'm trading out. If the fourth team wants the first, all right. We still get a top 5 player. Plus much, much more. I'm doing it. Trade back, yeah. Would you pick Trevor Lawrence or trade to it? No. I like Tua. I'd ride with Tua. I hope we play this year. What a waste if we don't. And the way I see it, and my prediction on it is, it's going to be very hard for the Dolphins not to play this year, and for the NFL not to play this year. There's going to be a lot of lost money, a lot of lost time, a lot of lost things, a lot of things, and then you have to decide, all right, what are they going to do with the draft? What are they going to do with this? What are they going to do with that? So I honestly, yeah, I think they're going to play it. It's like baseball, right? Baseball is happening, but they're actually doing like some scrimmages together. You just have to get the X's and O's and the stuff together for the season to work. You know what I'm saying? So health protocols and all that stuff. Will, with the $20 donation, throw a little orange on my screen. Not getting notification, brothers. Hope all is well. Stay safe. Yeah, I don't know what's going up with YouTube lately. Do you notice that YouTube puts double ads up every time? Like when I'm watching other YouTube videos, it's like double ads. Like just put one ad up, man. We can double ad it up. If we get the first overall pick, I would either take Swell or trade back. Yeah. But then what are you doing? So what, you would take Austin Jackson and put him at right tackle? With college football cancellation of games, how do you feel about the upcoming NFL season? It's going to be interesting, and this is really going to affect the draft. It's really going to affect the draft. And my brain is just shutting off, so I'm trying to think. I know that certain conferences are saying, or certain teams and conferences are saying they're not playing, and I know others haven't made that commitment yet, but a lot of teams are going to have to go off of 2019 tape. And we've seen a lot of people and a lot of quarterbacks, players drop because of how drastic their play is from one year to another. So it's like a big gamble. It's a huge gamble. And then, God forbid, like I said, I don't want this to happen, but God forbid there is no NFL season. Then it's like, all right, well, are the Dolphins picking at 5 again? And then, do you just get your same position as in this year, 2020 and 2021's draft, which then Dolphins are picking at 5, and then I'm like, all right, I'll take that. Who do you see returning kicks because Preston got hurt and Jakeem is injury prone? Perry, you could probably throw Malcolm Perry back there. You could probably throw one of these undrafted guys, maybe Ford. I wouldn't throw Igbenogany back there. I'm not having my first round guy. What are your thoughts on what Dak Prescott is worth? Now, just so you guys know, I made the video talking about Patrick Mahomes' contract, and I said, 477 million guaranteed. The way he did his contract is so team friendly. Yes, he's getting 10 years. Yes, he's getting about 500 million, but he did it so friendly, Mahomes, that it just every year after 2023, every year the team has the option to be like, hey, we're going to move on from you. Hey, we're going to move on from you. And if they don't, then it's like big chunks of money, 40, 50, 30 million, it's all over the place. So super team friendly. Like I said, after 2023, they could just be like, hey, look, this isn't working anymore. You're not as good as when we signed you the first 10 years. We're going to let you go. And no harm, no foul. Huge team friendly contract by Patrick Mahomes. Now, Dak Prescott, on the other hand, this is my thought process on Dak Prescott, and I'm probably going to piss off a lot of Cowboys fans, and I apologize. What has he done? What has he done to qualify making 35, 40 million a year? What has he done? Has he won a playoff game? Has he won a Super Bowl? What has he done? And you can't be like, well, because he had one of the best offensive lines in front of him. So what has he done? I've never seen an unfriendly 500 million. So the way I see Dak Prescott is he deserves a contract extension. He's not a bad quarterback. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He deserves a contract extension, but to pay him 35 to 40 million a year just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Top two teams in the East. I don't know. That's a good question, AK. Who would you put as the top two teams in the East, AKG? I'm interested to see what you think about that. Because I know you're going to put the Patriots, which, again, you guys have Bill Belichick. So Mahomes pulls the purse strings right. Don't the Chiefs need call Mahomes to restructure his contract whenever they want to sign a vet? Pretty much. Or they could just let him go. I hope Rosen and Tua starts week 1. We better not see Fitz. You're most likely going to see Fitz, DFS, because they wouldn't have kept him and hoped he would have came back if they didn't have a plan for him to start. I just left the stadium picking up my custom jersey. That's awesome. I wish I lived down in Miami so I can hang out with you guys, so I can go to every home game, because it would be super easy for me just to drive. Like, for me to go to the Giants and Jets game, it's literally a 15, 20-minute drive north. It's not far. I wish I lived down there to be able to do that, but it's hot. And my fiance is a nurse up here. So, Doug, what do you think if the Dolphins grab Melvin Gordon, the linebacker? Depends on how much. That's all depends. What's the guaranteed money and how much are they giving up? Watch Prescott go to the Jets. The only way I could see Prescott going to the Jets is if Adam Gase gets fired, which I don't even know why Adam Gase is still their head coach. I flew to every game last season from Seattle. No excuses. Ton of excuses. It's a lot of money, Jason. A lot of money to fly every home game. So you flew 8 times a year. From where I live, it's about $300 a round trip flight. So I'm doing $300 8 times within a 4-month period. And then I'm paying for a hotel. I got to rent a car. So that's a lot. What do you mean no excuses? What do I look like, Rockefeller? What do I look like, Rockefeller? Do I have a monocle and a top hat? Do I say do not pass go? Do I collect $200? Get out of here. That's like $1,000+ a trip. I got a mortgage to pay. I got bills to pay. Get out of here. Adam Gase might be my neighbor. Ridiculous. Ryan Fitzpatrick finishes his career with the Dolphins and becomes the quarterback coach for the Fins. I'd love that. I like Fitz. Oh, he works for the airline. Oh, that makes sense. Let me go back. Does he say that? I work for Delta Airline. You left that part out. Yeah, that's a huge piece that you left out. Because if I worked for an airline, hell yeah, man. Jason, I'd be right there with you, buying you a beer every game. Oh yeah. Ask Patrick Mahomes for the money. Oh, I really should. Do you think if Devontae Parker had a year like last year or better, that he would make the Pro Bowl? Yes. How are you fourth in the NFL? Let me pull this up. This is ridiculous. The man is fourth in the NFL in, I think, touchdowns and receiving yards, but he doesn't make the Pro Bowl. Does that make any sense to anybody? So receiving yards. Fifth. I apologize. 1,200. Well, no, out of wide receivers, yes, he's fourth. 1,202 yards. Touchdowns. He is fourth. No, fifth in touchdowns with 9 touchdowns. But he didn't make the Pro Bowl. Is there a little biased to the Pro Bowl? Anyone ever tells me that a player is really good because they made the Pro Bowl, or hey, this player's better because he went to 9 Pro Bowls, that's like telling me that the prom king and queen are whatever you want to say. It's a popularity contest. The Pro Bowl means nothing. You could just drive down here. Chief Bubba, that's a lot too. For me to drive down to Miami from New Jersey, I'm going to have to take multiple days off of work to drive down there. I'm going to have to pay for gas, which it was a lot. Then I have to stay at the hotel, it's still a lot of money to do it 8 times. 8 times a year is a lot of money. Xavier Rhodes, 45 PFF football rank in 2019, made the Pro Bowl. How do you see the 2 Jets games playing out with the bye week in between, just to start the season after the bye? How do you think that will affect the Jets game plan? I don't understand why they did that. That makes no sense to me. To game against a team, a bye, and the game against the same team, because then it's like, all right, you just have to completely change it. It's going to be interesting. We'll see where we're at that point in the season. Just teleport, Doug. Man, if I could just teleport, like, I'd be down in Florida all the time. All the time. Dolphins haters, no respect. What's up, Doug? Been a while, I know, but there's nothing going on. Need sports bad. Yeah, what's up, big boy? I agree 100%. I need to come to Alabama. Back-to-back whoopings. Yes, sir. Going to sweep the Jets. I wish the Pro Bowl was competitive. Yeah. I wish the Pro Bowl wasn't voted. Like, all pro players should go to the Pro Bowl. That's the way it should be. If you make it to the all-pro team for that year, you're on the Pro Bowl. It's just the Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. A lot of people want to use that as a reason to that you're like, oh, so many Pro Bowls. I don't like the Pro Bowl. It's popularity. Would you give Tua a Mahomes type contract if he had a similar stat line to Mahomes? I personally wouldn't feel comfortable with having so much money tied to one player now if there weren't a cap. H-Man, if he won us a Super Bowl, I'd give him a good contract. But like I said, Patrick Mahomes' contract is super team friendly, where they could just cut him whenever. And after the 3rd year, after 2023, they can cut. Even 2023, I think it's like a $3 million dead cap hit. They could just cut him, and there's no repercussions. You know, if they don't cut him, they have to pay him, like, some years it's like 30. Let me pull this up. Pull up Patrick Mahomes' contract so we can really look at it. If you guys want to know who I use, Spot Track is what I use, because I noticed that Over the Cap takes a while to update their stuff, and then they don't like talk about certain things. So with Patrick Mahomes' contract, right, it was a 2-year extension. So it doesn't really take place until, I think, next year, 2021. So after 2022, right, in 2023, the Chiefs can cut Patrick Mahomes, and it's only a $4 million dead cap hit. And in 2024, the Chiefs can cut Patrick Mahomes. It's only a $2 million dead cap hit. But if they don't, he's going to take about $42 million and $39 million. So it's a super team-friendly contract where, you know, they have him for 2 more years, paying him, you know, $5 million this year, $24 million next year, $31 million in 2022. And then if he regresses to the point where he's not the same guy and he's just horrible, they can just cut him and only eat $4 million, you know? So super team friendly. But then like after 2024, when they could just cut him and have no dead cap hit, his cap hit is like 41 million, 41 million, 59 million, 44, 44. So it's like huge numbers. So they need to decide after, especially 2023, does he deserve these contracts still, or is he regressed? And then you just cut him. So when it comes to, hey, would you do this for Tua? If he wins us a Super Bowl and plays like Mahomes does and is super dynamic and can stay healthy, maybe not as big, but yeah, I'd sign him to a 10-year contract. I miss having a quarterback that I'm like, oh, we're going to win. There's a minute left on the clock. This man's got the ball in his hands. Oh, we're going to win this game. What's up, EM? How you doing, brother? Rosen will have to do better. Rosen will thrive in Gailey's offense. Yeah, I honestly think he will. Rosen was traded for a 4th, not a 2nd round pick when you incorporate the Saints trade during that draft. Yes and no, because the Dolphins. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Patrick. I see where you're coming from. I just wish the Dolphins would have taken a player with that 2nd round pick instead of Rosen. Not saying I hate Rosen, but I just feel like they could have traded a lower draft pick to the Cardinals, because I think that the Dolphins were the only teams that were actually interested in Rosen, and I feel like they jumped the gun. Yeah, they waited and they traded back with the Saints and then eventually made the trade, but I think they could have waited and potentially gave him a 3rd. Jakeem Grant or Tariq Hill in a race? Jakeem Grant. That race would be a tie. Tariq Hill's winning. I don't know. I think Jakeem Grant is a lot faster than people realize, especially because he couldn't run a 40 at the combine because he wasn't invited. I think he ran like a 4.21 when he was doing his own thing at his pro day. Why does Henry Ruggs have 98 speed? We all know the best is 99. Are you talking about Madden? Have you seen his workout video lately? Yes. Jakeem Grant has put a lot of work in. Do the Dolphins have enough space to make the playoffs this year or wait till next year? Chris, I think they with the extra playoff spot, I definitely do. A lot of people want to look at this schedule. I'm going to pull that up too. A lot of people want to look at the Dolphins schedule and say, ooh, that's a hard schedule. And I look at the Dolphins schedule and I'm like, well, you know, week 1 against the Patriots. Yeah, they have Cam Newton now, so that, you know, it changes a little bit from my thought process with them having Stidham and Hoyer. I thought, you know, hey, whatever. But we beat them in New England week 17 with a 1st-round bye on the line. So if you think the Patriots were taking it easy on the Dolphins, you don't know the Patriots with Tom Brady and other better players. So week 1 isn't, I don't think it's an automatic loss. Then we got Buffalo coming into Buffalo. Buffalo, again, doesn't scare me. If Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't throw that interception on the goal line, I honestly think that Miami would have beat Buffalo in Buffalo. So it doesn't scare me. Then you look at the rest of the schedule, right? Jags, Seahawks, that's a dangerous game, but they are coming from the West Coast to the East Coast. San Francisco and Denver, those games aren't, you know, chalk up wins. Chargers, I'm not too afraid of the Chargers. Rams, same with the Rams. I'm not too afraid of the Rams. I think those games can go either way. Same with the Cardinals. Jets, or the Jets will win one of the two. Bengals, that might be a game where it's, you know, Burrow versus Tua. Again, that doesn't scare me. Chiefs, we'll see if Patrick Mahomes plays this game. We'll see if he's not injured or not. But again, that game doesn't really scare me. Home for New England. Raiders are the Raiders. I'm not scared of the Raiders. Derek Carr in Buffalo, like I said. Week 17, we almost beat them in Buffalo, and we did it weeks in 2016 going into overtime. So there's no game on this schedule, but, you know, Seahawks, 49ers, Cardinals, Chiefs. So I'd say about 5 or 6 games on this schedule scare me. Other than that, I think the Dolphins can win and can go either way. So it doesn't scare me. So a lot of people are like, oh, look at this schedule. The Dolphins are going to have a hard time. I'm like, we'll see. Can't complain. Doug, what's up? What's up, Aquavision? I watched the Bills game. If Preston Williams doesn't fumble, I think Dolphins would have won. Exactly, LGR. Exactly. What week would you think Tua will get his shot? It depends on what happens with Fitz, and it depends on if he struggles. A lot depends. If the offensive line is just playing hot garbage, right? And that's the reason that Fitz is struggling, because he's constantly getting sacked. He doesn't have time to throw the ball and all this stuff. I'm not putting Tua out there. I'm not. I'm not gonna have him learn by throwing him into the deep end, because it just doesn't make sense. So it all depends. There's a lot of factors that can go into that. Why people say Denver's loaded. They got a lot of talent. They got a lot of talent on defense too. Do you think that we should have taken Josh Jones instead of Austin Jackson? Nah, I like Austin Jackson better than Josh Jones. I wish we could have took some of the other tackles, but I knew when we took 2 at 5, those tackles are going to come off the board real quick. Thoughts on Miami Vice alternates? I don't want the Dolphins wearing black. I know a lot. Hey, I'll stand up right now. I'm in all black. Look at the kicks. I'm in all black. But I don't want the Dolphins wearing black. Not Miami. Maybe like if we play in Buffalo, sure, I'll wear all black because then you kind of stay warm. But there's no real reason for the Miami Dolphins to wear all black in Miami unless you want us to lose. I think Tua's going to play in the second half of the season. Do you like Matt Breida? Yes, I do like Matt Breida, Logan. I appreciate the honesty. Nice kicks. Thanks. They're old. Mine needs to get new sneakers. These are Nikes. I don't even know what the names of them are, but they're super old. Wow, why are you showing them pasty white legs? Larry, these legs have nothing but muscle. They might be white and pasty because I don't like the sun and I burn. But these legs are the legs of a man. How dare you talk about my legs? Oh, man. I'm going to have a red mark on my leg now. Because I'm so white and pasty that I'm going to have a red mark on my leg from slapping my leg. Larry. That's on you, Larry. I got some pretty awesome black and aqua gear. Zach Thomas Tate. Nice. You wear your shoes in the house? Yes, I do. Hardwood floors. I don't have carpet. Larry, are you going live? Yes, Larry will be. I think he said he'll be live today at 7. Do you think that we went into the draft expecting to trade for Matt Breida, or we are going to try and draft the best running back like we've done? It's a good question. I think the Dolphins had an idea. I think the Dolphins were in contact with the 49ers. They might have saw the way the draft started to fall and decided, hey, maybe we'll see who's out there. Teams know who other teams are on the trading block before certain things. So they might have known, like, oh, the 49ers are looking to move Breida. Let's see what we can get from him. And then they probably were in constant contact with them. You know, they have Jordan Howard, so maybe they didn't actually want J.K. Dobbins, because we saw how happy Brian Flores was with getting Raekwon Davis. So you never know. He might have thought, and I wouldn't be surprised with this, Brian Flores might have thought that the Baltimore Ravens were going to take Raekwon Davis. And when the Baltimore Ravens took J.K. Dobbins, all of a sudden he was probably like, yes, put that in. Put it in, you know? I say in a perfect storm, Houston bombs and gets the #1 pick for us. Do you leverage for free agent trades, or do you look at the board? Both. I'm not trading the pick until the day we're on the clock. That's what I'm doing. Put your case in the mouth. Nothing like my reversible Dan Marino jersey, though. But yes, that is the live stream, fellas. I appreciate the heck out of you guys hanging out. We got over 100 likes on here. Thank you guys for hanging out, getting likes. Thank everyone for donating. Thank you, Little Lauderdale, with the $50 donation. You blew my socks off, even though technically they're still on. Be sure to check out Larry's channel. Give him another shout out. I think he said he's going live tonight, so be sure to go check out Larry's channel. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys Monday with my top 10, not even 10, with my top games of the last 20 years. But thank you guys for hanging out. I always enjoy these Saturdays. You know, we're talking football, all that stuff. Yes, Larry put the link. Be sure to go check it out. But other than that, I will see you guys Monday with the next video. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.